What is up, YouTube? Do you struggle with warping vocals? Well, you're in the right place. This video is taken from the SYNTHO app, and I warp a Queen vocal over a track which I created. You can watch me create this loop from scratch inside the SYNTHO app, so go and check that out. You can also see me finish and arrange this track inside the SYNTHO app. But this little 20-minute segment will show you how I go around warping a vocal. The track's all right. But the information should be valuable. If you've got any questions about this kind of thing, just pop them below. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into the video. Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. We are looking at using acapellas and how we can use them in our tracks. So, first things first, we are going to go over some of the common problems I see. I'm just going to stick my headphones and make sure I mute my speakers so we don't get any feedback. And yeah, I'm just going to basically simplify the process of using vocals for you all. I want to begin by saying not every track needs a vocal. I think it's the kind of thing that we all think, oh, we're missing a vocal here. And a wise man once told me that if you can make a banger without a vocal, then you've made a serious banger. As obviously vocals make things much more catchy. But if you can make something catchy enough without a vocal, you've done some seriously good work. So, yeah, I think it's one of those things that we always want to find one, but it's hard. So secondly, I want to say that in the nicest way possible, using a vocal everyone else has used often can just discredit your music as well and can make it sound quite cheesy and uncreative. So I would be very cynical and very careful with the vocals you use in your tracks, as if you're just going to use one for the sake of it and it's like a dead commercial one and it's been used loads, one, it's just going to be nothing new. Two, you can't release it really for vocals being licensed and rinsed to death. So that's another thing. But what I would say is, to answer the question about do you need to have the music licensed to release, etc. If you made a really great track, I'm sure the owner of the vocal would be happy to license it for some kind of fee or cut of the royalties. But the chances are you're better off finding something fresh. So anyway, I'm just going to show you the basics of how to get the vocal in time and all that jazz. It's not that complicated, really. So if you watched the previous video, you'll have seen how to find vocals and my best tips for finding acapellas. And now I'm going to assume that you found an acapella. I'm going to use Queen's Another One Bites the Dust in this one. So the first bit, once you've chosen your vocal, is to drag it into your project. So you do this and drag it into an audio channel. And what you'll find is that Ableton then warps it with all these yellow little dots. And if you're not already aware, there is different settings for warp. When using a vocal, I would highly recommend always changing that to Complex Pro, as it gives it a much nicer sound and the warping is much better. And if you're not familiar with warping, these yellow markers basically allow you to stretch the vocal back and forward. So you could zoom in and do another marker there, drag that there. And if we listen to this on its own, let's go. Look. Let's go. Let's go. Steve Rocks. Let's go. But I would have that on the first marker. But anyway, with these yellow dots, markers, you can basically stretch the vocal to wherever you want. And we essentially need the vocal to be in time with the beat. And I want to make everyone aware here, there is no easy fix to getting vocals in time. Sometimes you might have to go in and do all the warping word by word yourself, which can be completely demoralizing and time consuming. So I know this vocal already should go. Steve Rocks barely down. This is the first beat in the original track by Queen, like we all know this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom into this first bit, hit this first word. I'm going to zoom right in. I'm going to double click there where the volume starts to come up. Then we're going to zoom out. Well, actually, we're not. We're going to click here. Where we've done this yellow marker, I want you to right click and then do set 1.1 here. And this now means that the first beat is on that. Okay, so that means that's the very first bar now. Bar 1 is from there. And what I would always do is do your first 1 or 2 bars. If you press warp, the metronome at the top.
Steve walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down low.
See, it's miles out because the original's in 107. So if we go,
Steve walks.
so we might actually need to go.
Steve.
If we go back to the start.
Let's go.
And you're best off trying to find.
Steve walks barely. Steve walks barely down. Steve walks.
It's completely out. Sometimes what you can do is you can drag it back in again. And I hope this is making people aware of the fact that you can't just find vocals and drag them in and like expect it to work.
Let's go. Steve walks barely down the street.
Completely out. So what we need to do is, the actual best way would be to delete all these warp markers. Right?
Let's go. Steve walks.
And we find this first beat. Should think, how does the original go? We're going to put in this first one.
Let's go.
So we're going to go.
Steve.
I think it'll be like there, as the vocals kind of.
Barely down. Steve walks barely down the street.
And then what you can do then is draw another line right at the end. We'll do it over this. So it's too slow at the moment. So we're going to just do this. I think that should be the second bar there. So we double click this. You can kind of guess that maybe that goes there. Potentially.
Steve walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't no. Steve walks barely down. Steve walks barely down the street. Steve walks.
I think this is a bit out. So I think it should go there.
Steve walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't no sound but the sound.
So what we can do is, I know that now needs to be on the 4. You see that? So we can actually zoom.
Ain't no sound. Steve walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't no sound but the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready?
So the best thing to do here would be, is kind of.
Steve walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down low.
That needs to be a tiny bit slower. So if we stretch this out a tiny bit.
Steve walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Steve walks barely. Steve.
Yes, this must go like here. If we started it there.
Let's go. Steve walks barely down the street.
I think it'll come this way a tiny bit. Maybe it's that.
Let's go. Steve walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down.
So that needs to go on the first beat, that.
Let's go. Steve walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't no sound.
That needs to go that way a bit.
Let's go. Steve walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't no sound but the sound of speed. Machine gun.
So that needs to go there then. And you'll start to see the pattern.
Let's go. Steve walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't no sound but the sound of speed. Machine guns ready.
It's a bit slow, that.
Let's go. Steve walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't no sound but the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the doorway, the bullets.
See, you can start to get bits where they will need less warping. Sometimes you can get lucky where you just have to warp the end of the track. But you're best off going in like 16ths. See that there now? I reckon if we move this, potentially just like that, we might get close.
Another one. Steve walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't no sound but the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat?
See, it's all going a bit fast there. If we move up to there.
Steve walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't no sound but the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this?
See, these are a bit slow. So this needs to come like there, I think.
Steve walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this?
See, they're all a bit off. So I think they need to come a bit faster. You see like that there? You need just to zoom in on these little bits, and the less warps you do, the better, really, because if you start warping it too much, it'll start to feel a bit unnatural and it sounds warped. Like maybe this needs to come this way a bit more.
He walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't no sound with the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat?
See that transient there needs to come back slightly.
He walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't no sound with the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the doorway, the bullets rip to the sound of the beat. Yeah.
So that one's a bit out, that tiny bit there. This is nice though. It's getting there. Maybe we can do like a really cool Queen edit.
He walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't no sound with the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the doorway, the bullets rip to the sound of the.
I think this bit's a bit. Maybe it does need to come a bit slower. This one's there. I think it's this. I think this maybe needs to go like there.
He walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down low.
It's a bit quite a big warp
Ain't no
there.
sound with the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the doorway, the bullets rip to the sound of the beat. Yeah.
See, that's pretty cool. See, this is like, maybe that needs to come there. And you can see how you want each word really. That's quite nice. So we've got that. Look at all them warp markers in just one little section.
He walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't no sound with the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the doorway, the bullets rip. He walks barely down. He walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't no sound with the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the doorway, the bullets rip to the sound of the beat.
It's a bit fast at the end, isn't it? Other side of that beat. Yeah, I think this should be. I think this needs to go. I think this is all a bit slow. This one. I think this maybe needs to all come back. See like that. And it all needs to go in sync with that.
He walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't no sound with the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the doorway, the bullets rip to the sound of the beat. Yeah. He walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down low.
So that's the first part, warped. And secondly, a common thing is having it out of pitch. So when you are working with a vocal, the vocalist will have sung in a certain key to fit the rest of the track. And we need to find that out. If you're using quite a well-known tune, you may be able to find it on Google. If you're using quite an unknown a cappella, you can use Record Box to try and analyze the key of the vocal. But you want the track to be in the same key as the vocal, otherwise you get this horrible out-of-tune thing that's often heard in people's tracks when they're starting out. So you can put the acca in there. This is meant to be an E minor, so let's have a look if it gets analysed correctly. Yes, it does. So for example, if we go back to Ableton, say this bass line, this ABL3 is in, I want to put these notes on. And they're in E, but we're going to move this down to D sharp, so it's out of tune with the vocal. And watch this. Out of tune. So we're going to move the vocal down one semitone, so it's in the same key as the now acid. As the acid looks, you can see the acid there is D sharp, and the vocal we were working with was E, so E minor, so we move that down to D sharp. So we put it back up, turn it down, semitone there. Oh, we go down 3 more of these. 1, 2. Let's go down to C. So how many did you go down there? We went down. So we started at E. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's move the vocal down 4. So 1, 2, 4, that -4. So you could do a really cool edit of the vocal with it pitched down with like maybe like a...
He walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't no sound but the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the way, the bullets rip. Sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the way, the bullets rip to the side of the beat. He walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't no sound but the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the way, the bullets rip to the side of the beat. He walks barely down the street with the brim pulled way down low.
It's really cool.
Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the way, the bullets rip to the side of the beat.
Let's move all these bass notes as well. Went down 4, so let's put these down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. See what it sounds like. With the sound of speed, machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the way, the bullets rip to the side of the beat. Yeah. Is it time for a Queen house edit? Really cool. Really cool. So I'm getting distracted now from the tutorial. I'm getting a bit lost in the jam. Hopefully you all guys are all enjoying it as well. But the next thing is always trying to get synths to groove with the acid. So say we just had the kick here. Sorry, the kick with the vocal. So you might want to go with the groove, like with the track. So you want to groove. Then maybe go up when it goes to the next one.
Ain't no sound but the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the way, the bullets rip to the side of the beat. Yeah. He walks barely down the street. The brim pull way down low. Ain't no sound but the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the way, the bullets rip to the side of the beat. Yeah. He walks barely down the street. The brim pull way down low. Ain't no sound but the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the way, the bullets rip to the side of the beat. Yeah. He walks barely down the street. The brick wall way down low. Ain't no sound but the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the doorway, the bullets rip to the side of the beat. Yeah. Brooks barely down the street. The brick wall way down low.
See, that bass line originally that we used does not fit nearly as well as.
Brooks barely down the street. Brooks barely down the street. The brick wall way down low.
That fits the bass line way more, that new one I did, because it's just like grooving with the vocal. But obviously the first one that we did before the track is a groove as well.
Ain't no sound but the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go.
So yeah, this is the vocals. This is acapellas, how you use them. I would always look to do some kind of EQ. If we duplicate them again here, I'll do a blank channel. Oops. I want to go on its own. Always do some nice EQ.
Ain't no sound but the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go.
Not too thin.
Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this?
Mic shift is always great. Get it to sit wide. Look.
Ain't no sound but the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go.
Really nice and wide. We can always experiment with delays and sender returns and reverbs as well. I like the idea of using it in a different key because it's just slightly different. So guys, that is a look at acapellas and how you warp them. It's literally a matter of that. If you can't seem to get it in time, you need to just keep warping. Ableton can sometimes just warp it for you. But as you saw there, I was tempted to kind of redo that start bit, but that's the reality of vocals, and that's how you've got to find them. So any questions on that, get in touch. But hopefully you enjoyed that. I really like that groove. Maybe I'm going to make a housey, wonky Queen track. So yeah, catch you soon, guys.